Good morning, children. How are you all? Hope you all are fine, students. I am also fine. Okay, shall we come back to our lesson? In second lesson, accounts of not-for-profit organizations. We have learned how to prepare the receipts and payments account and the income and expenditure account. And third, we have learned how the subscription will appear in the that income and expenditure account and the balance sheet. Now we will see some of the other expenses or some consumable items. For example, medicines or sports materials or stationery. Okay, all these things, how it will appear in the income and expenditure account and in the balance sheet. Okay, so any one example. So here only one thing you should remember, that consumed. That, for example, stationery consumed, we have to write. This will appear in the debit side of the income and expenditure account. Yesterday we have seen the credit side item, subscription, income. Okay, this one expenses. So the actual expenses, how we will find out? We have that expenses will be given, but we have to write how much we have consumed, because here we will have the opening stock, and they will purchase that year, and some of the items will be not used, that is called closing stock. Okay, so how we will write this one in the income and expenditure account on the expense side? Opening stock, add purchases, less closing stock. There we will get stationery consumed. Okay, this one on the debit side. On the credit side, that means the income side, if any sale of stationery, sale of the consumable items, that will appear in the credit side. Or what we can do, we can deduct from this one, less sale of stationery. Okay, but this one is not normal. Usually we will credit that sale of that item. Then only that equation you should remember: opening stock, add purchases, less closing stock. There we will get stationery consumed. Okay, that must be entered in the expense side of the income and expenditure account. Then this closing stock will appear in the balance sheet. For balance sheet, asset side, we have to write closing stock of stationery. Okay, that's all. Okay, students. Now we will see that illustration. Okay, I will show to you illustration. How will the following item appear in the final accounts of a sports club? Stock of sports materials, opening stock 3000, sports materials purchased, given, sale of old sports materials, then stock of sports materials at the end. So simple equation: opening stock, add purchases, less closing stock. The sale of old sports materials will appear on the credit side. Okay, then this stock, closing stock, will appear in the balance sheet. That's all. Okay. See, income and expenditure account. You have to write, then both side we have to write. Okay, so equally we have to divide the side. 2 sports materials consumed, 2 amount columns. So better we can use, you can use 2 pages. Okay. Opening stock, add purchases, less closing stock. Okay, by sale of old sports materials. Then in the assets, in the balance sheet, on the asset side, stock of sports materials. You see the next illustration. From the following details, calculate the printing and stationery to be debited to income and expenditure account for the year ending 31st March 2018, and also show how it will appear in the balance sheet as on 31st March 2018. Amount paid for stationery, then opening stock, closing stock. Okay, see, to stationery consumed, then opening stock, add purchases, less closing stock. Okay, then balance sheet, stock of stationery. Okay, very simple. 2 mark, 3 mark they will ask. Okay, then shall we do the exercise? Yesterday we have completed up to 12th exercise, isn't it? Exercise 12 we have completed. 13 related to subscription only. Okay, we will finish this one, then we will come to this consumable items. Okay, 13. How the following items appear in the final accounts of Thuthukudi Young Pioneers Association. There are 100 members in the association, each paying 25 rupees as annual subscription. By the end of the year, 10 members had not paid their subscription, but 4 members had paid for the next year in advance. Okay, so we should, how this will appear in the final accounts. Both income and expenditure account and balance sheet we should show. Okay. Number 13. First, income and expenditure account. You write fully. Okay. So up to 16 I should complete. Okay. Income and expenditure account for the year ended. Not given. Okay. Okay, not given. The credit side only we are writing, isn't it? So we will write like this. Income by subscription. To amount column we should draw. Here, actually we need to calculate how much we are supposed to receive. Okay. Here, how much they have received, it's not given clearly. Okay. So, how much you see, how many members are there? 100 members. Isn't it? 100 members into 25 rupees. So, 100 into 25, 2,500. We are supposed to receive this much amount. Actually, by the end of the year, 10 members had not paid. 10 into 25. Okay, 10 into 25, 250. Okay, they have not paid. So, how much we have received? 2,250. We have received. So, subscription 2,250. Then, now we should add outstanding subscription. Outstanding subscription how much? 10 members, 250. So totally 2,500. Okay, like this only we have to write. Okay, 2,500. Now, income over. Now we should show the balance sheet. Balance sheet we have to divide equal. Okay, here this year outstanding, that is asset. Outstanding subscription, how much? 250. Now, received in advance. Subscription received in advance. How many? 10 members had not paid, but 4 members had paid for the next year. So 4 into 25, 100. This they have paid already. Okay. So this one is received in advance. This is liability, asset, outstanding subscription. Here that year's 2,500. Simply we should not write outstanding, we want to show. That is say how much we have received, add outstanding we have shown. Okay. Now we will do the 14th one that we have learnt now about the consumable items. Okay. 14. How will the following appear in the final account? So both we should show. Of Marthandam Women Cultural Association. Stock of sports materials 1/4/2018. Sports materials purchased. Stock of sports materials on 31st March 2019. Okay, first we will show income and expenditure account. In the books of Marthandam, Women Cultural Organization, Association. Okay, income and expenditure account. Fully you have to write, okay. For the year ending, you leave like that, okay. So here, debit side only, more we need to write. Okay, here expense, here income. 2, sports materials consumed. Double amount column, okay. Sports materials consumed. What we have to write? Opening stock. You write fully, okay. Opening stock 16,000. Add purchases 84,000. 1 lakh. Okay, then less closing stock 10,000. So 90,000. Okay, this is what appear in the expense side of the income and expenditure account. Now we should show how this will appear in the balance sheet, because they have asked in the final accounts. So we should show both the accounts. Okay. Here only the assets, closing stock of sports materials. Okay, you write fully. Okay, 10,000. That's all. One problem over. Okay. Then 15. How will the following appear in the final accounts of Bethlahem Sports Club? Opening stock, purchases, okay, bats and balls. Opening stock of bats and balls, purchase of bats and balls, sale of old bats and balls, closing stock of bats and balls. Okay, it will appear in final accounts. So both accounts we should show. First we will write the number. Okay, now in the books of, when you do in the accountancy notebook, you use the both the pages. Okay, in the books of Bethlahem Sports Club. Income and expenditure account. For the year ended, right? If there is no date, you can put like that. Okay. Now, debit side only we should write more, isn't it? No, sale of old bats and balls also there. So, 2 bats and balls consumed. Okay, we will write opening stock. Opening stock of bats and balls 3,000. Okay, then add purchases 17,000. So 20,000 less closing stock. Closing stock of bats and balls 4,000. So 16,000 we should write here. Okay. Now one more item given, sale of old sports and old bats and balls. Sale of old bats and balls. How much? 2,000. Then again this one item only will appear in the balance sheet. Okay. So balance sheet. Only one side. Okay. Closing stock of bats and balls. How much closing stock? 4,000. Okay. Now, next problem. Okay, 16. Show how the following items appear in the income and expenditure account of Sirkari Singers Association. So only one account they have asked. Opening stock of stationery, purchases made, closing stock. Okay, very easy. This you may not forget, and you can gain 2 marks. Okay, it is very simple. Here many subscription, treatment of subscription, then treatment of this one, anyone they will ask. In accountancy, we have many chances to score more marks. Okay, so now in the books of Sirkari Singers Association. Okay, then income and expenditure account for the year entered, no date given, like that. Okay, then only debit side, we will make the debit side more. Okay, so 2 stationery consumed. Opening stock 2600. Add purchases 6500. 7 plus 2 9. Less closing stock 2200. Right here. 11 minus 2 9. 8 minus 2 6. So 6900. Okay. So from the next 17th onwards, another method. Okay, that one related to the special fund. Okay, any specific fund, how to treat those fund. Okay, that expenses and income related to a specific fund where we have to enter. Okay, that we will learn in the next day's class. Okay, students. So do all these. I will send the pages, you do and check. Okay, those illustration and the exercise. Thank you, students.